Hey everybody, Alyssa here from Becoming Memories. Thanks so much for joining me for another process video. This is my first process video using my July 2019 How to Kill a Kit with Style. And I am starting out with a lovely mixed media experiment. And let me tell you, my mixed media experiments do not always go right. This one turned out exactly the way I pictured it, and so it was amazing. So I'm just starting by using a credit card to put gesso all over my paper, kind of smush it all down, and trying to get as close to the edge as I can without making a huge giant mess. And now, by the magic of television, it's dry. So I'm taking these stencils from Tim Holtz. These are old, and they have sticky on the back, so they actually stick to the paper. And I lied when I said the gesso was completely dry, because I came to find out later that it was not completely dry. And so I would advise you to make sure that it is completely dry before you try this technique, and I will show you why in a moment. But I'm using modeling paste here. This is just some cheap Liquitex modeling paste I got at Hobby Lobby, and I am smearing it all over the paper right on top of that gesso. And the stencils that are stuck on there are going to provide a resist of sorts, so that when I pull them off, there's kind of an indentation there where those stencils are in the shape of gears. And it actually worked really well, except there are a few spots where you may see here in a moment where the gesso was just wet enough that it actually stuck to the adhesive on the back of the stencil, and it kind of pulled the top layer of my paper off. So what I did to fix that is I just took my finger and dabbed a little gesso back over that spot, and that way my mixed media here should continue to perform the same way it would otherwise. So I'm just spraying on some mist, and then I'm dabbing it off right away with a baby wipe. And the reason I'm using the wet baby wipe is because I have found that it does a little better job when you have that gesso and molding paste on there, and you use the wet wipe. You can kind of like pick it back up right away, if that makes any sense. It just picks it up and softens the look a little better than a paper towel, is what I found. So I used a couple ink spatters there from a navy colored Tattered Angels mist. And now, while I'm waiting for that to dry, I am going to go through some of the embellishments and stickers and such in my kit and try to figure out what I'm going to put on top of this. I did choose this photo of my 4-year-old, which I absolutely love. He was actually giving me some grief there about taking his photo. And so, of course I had to take the photo, and now I have to scrapbook it, because that's what we do, right? So these are die cut gears. They are from a silhouette file, and I had kind of debated on whether or not I wanted to use them, but when I put them on there, on top of that mixed media, on top of the resist, on top of the molding paste, all that mixed media, I just absolutely love that they added such another fun layer of dimension. And this background, this is one of my favorite backgrounds in a very long time. It just turned out super cool. So I will be honest with you, at this point, I really had no idea where this layout was going to go. What kind of happened was that my mixed media colors and my photo colors sort of ended up different than the colors that are actually in this kit. And so I did have a bit of a struggle with that at first. So here I am, those chipboard thickers that are in my kit from Amy Tangerine, I believe. They are raw chipboard with a black, like a crosshatch pattern over them. And I just stuck them on this piece of packaging, and then my mist bottle was clogged, so I used the end of the sprayer to just kind of drip that navy blue mist onto those letters. And so I'm going to let them dry. They do lighten up quite a bit, which actually works pretty well, because they end up very close to that color of blue that is in the photo play paper that's in my kit. And so there I am with that pink fresh wood veneer. I try about all of those on this page, and I think the only ones that actually make it, there's like one little piece that actually makes it. That is the sticker from Boys. That is from the photo play paper. and it ends up not making it as well. Ellie's Studio letters. There we go. The Ancient American Crafts Remarks stickers. Guys, this is why I keep everything, especially generic things, because you really never know when something will fit and when it will work. Do you? At least that's how I justify it to myself. So I'm still trying to get some of this Pink Fresh, and the reason that I was really trying to use this wood veneer is twofold. One, I do not have anything from that collection, and so I thought it would be good to just use some of it. And two, it was one of the things in the kit that really did go with the colors of my mixed media background. So I cut a label sticker from that Seven Gypsies sheet, and I tried to stick it under the photo without the text showing, just to add a little color. And now I'm gluing those word stickers down because I really don't know what else I'm going to do at this point. And I end up having to pull them off here in a second, but that's okay. So I pulled out this little bag of die cuts, and this bag, I'm taking the letters off again because I'm playing around with putting some more layers under my photo. There I am pulling off the stickers I just glued down. And I had that little bag of die cut pieces there just over next to my scissors. And what that is pieces that I have cut out with my silhouette and never used. And I have stuck them in that bag. There's gears in there, there's stars, there is just a bunch of little bits and pieces that I thought would be, someday I'm going to use this, and now today is someday. So I'm putting on those word strips back on. That frame that I just put behind my photo, that is from the Capture Collection by Basic Gray. It's from that sticker sheet that you see over there on the right. And that is when the layout finally clicked. When I put that frame behind there, and I had to cut it to get it to fit behind my photo. So I'm just using those word strips on the right, and you'll see I'll put an embellishment there on the left to cover the cut. These stars are from that little bag of leftover die cuts. They don't end up staying. Here comes more gears, this time in navy blue. These are from that bag of leftovers, because really, truly, you never know when you're going to use it. This layout absolutely proves it. So that sticker sheet there from Basic Gray, I kind of threw it in this kit as a last minute addition because I just was trying to use it up. It's kind of something that's been hanging around for a while and I was trying to kill it. But I was so glad that that was in my kit because that's what really enabled me to finish this layout and love this layout and have the colors that I needed to go with that mixed media background I created. In retrospect, what I probably should have done was test out my colors and make sure that they matched what was in my kit. But at the end of the day, it just all works out somehow. So I put a little journaling block there. That is from the Chamel box of crayons collection from the journaling pad. I just cut that down to the size I wanted for that space. And that sticker from Swell is from that Basic Gray Capture sheet. I kind of started going with the circles and the word strips. And it all kind of, I put an arrow down there on the bottom left. And at this point, I feel like I'm pretty much done. I pull out this sheet of puffy stickers from American Crafts Remarks, and I got them at Tuesday morning. There are hearts, stars, and a few other little icons on there. And I'm not even sure how they ended up in my kit, except that there was orange in there, and I knew that there was a lot of orange in my kit. And I'm so glad they did, because the black and the orange and the green and the mustard, like everything in there basically minus the pink just worked beautifully. And so I was able to add lots of little finishing bits to this layout using that puffy sticker sheet. So I am gluing down my title. It says Silly Boy. That will be my title. And I'm just adding a little glue under those Remarks little square stickers as well. Basically glue under everything because this is gesso and nothing sticks to gesso. So I've decided to put a black border here around my layout. I also have found that when I use a black cardstock like that, or not black necessarily, but I put a piece of cardstock behind my mixed media pages, it really helps hold everything down, flatten everything out. And I set that chipboard sheet, you see me do that there for a second, I set it on there because it gave me a better surface to really rub and press that cardstock down into the background to that black sheet to make sure that everything was pressed down hard and smooth before the HEG tape really set, if that makes sense. So a couple more finishing little touches, an orange arrow, another gear down there in the bottom right corner, and back to that puffy sticker sheet. The ampersand, that's what else it has on it. It's so versatile. I have loved it, and if I find another one at Tuesday morning, I will buy it because it really works surprisingly well on so many different types of pages. So I'm just adding a few more blue spatters, dabbing them up with my baby wipe and my shirt. And there you have it. That is the finished layout. I'm going to share some close-ups here so you can see it a little more closely. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and taking a peek, and I hope you will subscribe to my channel. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.